everyone, and welcome to Don's TV. We're here today on Saturday, 2nd of March, ahead of a pretty big fixture for the club, as we take on our League 2 fixture. So, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Tough game today. Obviously, we're pre-recording this down to, there's so much restrictions. Also, it's wet.
The weather is horrible. Outside. The usual area we film will have a high police presence, of course. And yeah, just here early. Early wake up, no line for me.
It's like breakfast TV, isn't it?
Yeah. And it's on a Saturday morning, tiring. But what a show we have today. We've got team news, we've got a chat with Don's legend, Jason Yule, and we've also got a video of some previous wins in this fixture. But let's jump into...
Yeah, we're going to wait for Jason Yule, so enjoy some history bits and pieces, and
Hello everyone, we're back here again in the club museum and we're joined by Don's legend. I don't mean Stuart Deakins, I mean Jason Yule. Welcome Jason, welcome.
No, thanks for having me, thank you.
How are you looking forward to today, sort of being as guest of honour?
Ooh, that's a big one that, guest of honour. No, looking forward to it. I haven't been to this game at all, this fixture. So for the first one, back at the new stadium for myself, really looking forward to it. And yeah, I want to get a positive result. Obviously, with the results we've had the last couple of weeks, it'd be good just to make up for the last performance when we played them a few weeks ago and just get the right result and performance today.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we caught up. So I caught up with you in the summer when you were here.
Yeah.
A lot better weather, let's be fair. Champion down. Nice to play on the pitch on that summer, wasn't it? I think we was it. I think the scoreline was a bit in the other side, wasn't it, from memory, wasn't it?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, I don't like losing.
Harvey,
yeah.
I think Harvey was a little bit of a good outside of it. We're calling this Jason's Corner because literally all the Premier League we were just saying about obviously the billboards and things like that. Bring back good memories.
Oh, always. I mean, it's like I said in the interview I did is from all the years from when I was living over this side and playing and training and working at Charlton, it was always having to come through this route to get to the training ground anyway at New Eltham and coming back the other way. So it's never been away from me, and it's one of those where I've always kept an eye on results, always kept an eye on what things are happening and doing around the area and with the club. So, like I said in the interview again, it's something which is very close to my heart, because I said it was the first club that gave me the opportunity, and whenever you get the opportunity to come back, it's always a pleasure to do that.
So looking at that opportunity, academy football, and then getting into that first team squad, how special was that for you to get into the Premier League and play with your boyhood club?
It was always special because it's as a young boy growing up, you want to be a professional footballer, and I was able to do that with the first team that got me an opportunity. I hadn't been anywhere on trial before. Yeah. It was literally playing my grassroots football at Red Lion, got scouted, came into Wimbledon, and as they say, the rest is history. It was literally that from the age of 12 all the way to the age of 24.
It's always a weird one, because whenever I meet you I feel old, because I remember watching you in the youth team. Obviously Lenny Piper, who unfortunately passed away recently. Gifted player, wasn't he?
Oh God, yeah. I mean, even just from when he sort of stopped playing or his career didn't go the way we thought it would have, and speaking at the funeral last week, we always knew that people talk about the number 10 now. He was the first and original number 10 type player, because he just had that ability. He had the attributes both defensively and attackingly, and goals and creating, and just his feet and what he did with the ball was just unreal. And because it is, without him and others that are involved in that youth team for the 2 years that I had, probably wouldn't have got to where I got to. And I mean, he played a massive part of that, not just because of how we were as teammates, but socially as well, because we grew up together. Yeah. And it was literally his house was my house, and his house was everyone else's house, and my house was his, and vice versa for people around the area. So he's a big loss, and someone that I owe a lot to.
It's funny because obviously with Lenny, he also bought into it massively as well, because I used to go away games with him on the coach. He was very much about
him and his brother,
his uncle Steve and stuff like that. Yeah, I went to a party once and it was just everybody was there and stuff like that. Obviously, I watched you with Lenny and Carl, which was some special. I remember going to Old Trafford for a semi-final, going to Highbury. Yeah. And also, if I remember properly, a young Rio Ferdinand played West Ham.
When did we play them? We played them in, I can't remember, I think it might be in the Floodlit Cup. Might have been the Floodlit Cup, I think. It might in the first year, may have been. But yeah, again, he's another one from the area. He was at the funeral last week. Again, it wasn't only just football people that came to put Lenny to rest. It was people that knew him and knew what he was like as a person. It was a pain in the arse sometimes, like just in terms of like just non-stop joking and just. But that was his humour, and he took that humour on the pitch because he just enjoyed being who he was and doing what he did on the pitch.
Definitely. Today, what's your prediction today? Feelings on how it's going to go?
Not a score, just get a result. I think because at this time of the year, it's always, if you lost one, people thinking, oh, that's it, you're too far to get in the playoffs. But it's just important about just picking up points and staying in and around it, and getting something today just gives you that impetus for the home game on Tuesday. Can you go and back it up again? And then that keeps you in a great position now, where it's just being there or thereabouts. Because I always say, as this time of the year is, you get one or two that might fall away, and you get one or two that kick on.
The late surge,
The late surge.
Like we did in last time we went into League One. We went on a mad run from March, and then all of a sudden you're in the playoffs and you're at Wembley, and beating Plymouth.
Yeah, that's it. And I think it's always just important to just be there or thereabouts when it comes to that last week of the season.
Brilliant. Well, look, we'll let you go.
Just
And
say one thing quickly.
Cool.
Looking back, obviously, at your second time at Charlton, you played for us twice and also Charlton twice. A man who is in our dugout, Johnny Jackson, obviously within that squad. A squad that also featured the likes that people will know. Scott Wagstaff, Adi Aziz, Michael Smith and Joe Piggott all came on to play for us as well. What's Johnny Jackson like as a player?
What was he like as the NFL anymore?
He still does a bit of training now and then when he can, but yeah.
No, Jacko is. I've got this thing about lefties, and lefties has always got something about them, and he's just got that sort of swagger and style with his left. Technically very good. Wasn't the quickest, he could tell you that, but he was a very smart footballer. He's one of those ones that timed his runs into the box, like late runs, just timing, finish with his head, left foot, right foot, and he was just a good captain as well as being people. It's very important about the person that you are to become the type of player that you are. And as a person, he was that. And I mean, Chris Powell made him captain of the club. We got promoted with that. And he's got very good leadership skills, and I think that's translated into what he's doing now from the sideline.
Absolutely. And one last war cry before. If you were in the change room with the boys, what would you say to them before they head out today?
It's just about just go and play, because it's another experience. It's an experience where you're playing against local-ish rivals, them up the road, at a packed-out stadium, and you might not get this opportunity again. And it's just go out and just do whatever you can, how well you can, just for 90 minutes. If it's not 90 minutes and you do 60 and you blow up and someone else, but just go and give everything that you can for the time you're on the pitch and just make an impact.
Fighting words there. Thank you very much for joining us.
No problem, thank you.
Hello everyone, we're here in the Clubs Museum, joined by John Green, and Stuart Deacons returns as well.
I'm still here.
Still here. Always good. John, welcome.
Thank you. It's always great to be here. This is my favorite place on earth, so happy to be here.
First time here?
Yeah, first time here.
First time here in this fixture.
First time here for this one. Yeah, it's an uncomfortable game to be at just inherently, but two things. One, it lined up with my schedule, and two, I want to see us absolutely crush the franchise. So let's get it done.
Yeah.
Get that on repeat in the change. We saw you trying on some of our new gear that's in the club shop.
Yeah, well, the FA Cup final jersey looks great, and the sweater's awesome. So yeah, it's always Wimbledon has the best, I think, the best merch of any team in the Football League. Like, I think that we have, I love it. So I always like to come here and get a new hat. This is the only hat I wear every day, so I have to change it out every few months. So it's an excuse to come back to the club shop.
And one thing, so obviously with the retro shirt, they used to wear quite short shorts, and you have got a good connection to a man who plays for Wimbledon currently with short shorts.
I love short shorts. Yeah, I love Joe Lewis, and really grateful to be able to help out the club a little bit and make sure that he can be a permanent player here, because I think he's a special young man, and I think that he really has the opportunity to help us lead us to great things.
So you also notice he's got a t-shirt out there as well with the short shorts.
Yeah.
Were you tempted?
Oh, I got one. I got one. Yeah, I got one. That was what's the name of the fellow who runs the club shop?
Matt.
Yeah, Matt told me that I could get a free T-shirt in exchange for helping out with the
I think
transfer fee.
I think that's a fair deal, isn't it? So what are you expecting today? Obviously, this game, your first time you've been in this fixture, it can be volatile.
Of course.
What are you expecting from the team today?
It's really hard fixture for us because we dread it, and of course we dread it because we're playing a franchise that for us is the embodiment of the injustice that occurred and in some ways is ongoing. And so it's really, really hard for us to figure out even how to approach this fixture. I really like the way that we've been talking about it on social media instead of, being divisive, just saying we are Wimbledon. And regardless of how you feel about the fixture, we are Wimbledon, and we need to be in this together. But for too long, my personal take is that for too long, they've relished this occasion and we've dreaded it. And of course we dread it, that's inevitable. But it's time for us to relish the occasion and for them to dread it.
I agree. And just thinking, you've actually got a great British weather here today.
Oh, it's perfect.
Absolutely
It's
chucking
perfect.
it down.
Well, the whole week really. We've been here since Wednesday, my friend Stuart and I, and we've just been enjoying some proper British weather. It has rained more or less nonstop. Y'all do a great job. I mean, the pitch looks relatively good, considering how much it has been raining this week. So, yeah, let's go out there and give it a go.
Brilliant.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
It's time for some team news. Rob Boyce has joined us.
Hello.
He's crept in somewhere.
Good morning.
To Jason's corner.
Some show team news and some actual team news. Yeah, Jason's corner as we're here. And we've got some team news. So, in goal, Alex Bass. It looks like a back three of Lee Brown, Kofi Barmer, and John Joe O'Toole, who starts his first game for the club. And then we are stuck for how it's going to go forward. So we've got Jake Reeves, James Tilley, Josh Nerfel, Josh Kelly, Armani Little, Omar Bagil, and Jack Curry. Boys, to me that looks like a 3-5-2 in some capacity, or 3-4-1-2 maybe, trying to look to how we play usually.
Yeah,
We've got a full-back.
I'm not surprised. You know, it's interesting. When we brought John Joe O'Toole in, literally, let's be fair, just before the window shut, for all of us that have seen John Joe O'Toole for Northampton and stuff like that, he could play centre half, centre midfield, centre forward.
Anyway.
So actually, do you know what? In terms, I don't think it was a planned transfer, but actually, it's pretty sat us quite well, really. He can do a job in there if we play. So what we've got: John Joe O'Toole, Barmer,
Lee Brown,
and Lee Brown, and you've got your wing backs with Curry. I think Omar. I think Joe. I think the only thing we'd probably do is probably change that three at the back. I think we still sit.
That's what I said. Like, further forward, it's going to be that.
Still be a 1-on-1 with Omar and Josh Kelly.
There also is a chance we do play four at the back, because Kofi Barmer can play anywhere across the back four. So he could play right back, Jack Curry could play left back.
I'm just thinking with the.
But it does look like a three at the back.
Yeah, with how.
It's hard for us to speculate fully.
Josh Nerfel's quite good defensively, I find.
Yep.
He's really good to get the ball and go forward, and I just feel like for that extra layer of security might be. But look, we've seen
how frustrating
many
is it
players
that Johnny
make many
decides to
decisions.
turn around? How is it frustrating that Johnny decides on this day of all days to change a formation, and we're now having to work and figure out.
Yeah.
Don't
Usually
forget
it's
James
just,
Tilley can play as a right wing back. But let's be fair, you know, today's game is against Milton Keynes is going to be a difficult one because they dominate the ball.
Yep.
So even though I'm interested to see how we go, do we go high? Do we do a mid block? Do we sit back and break? Because let's be fair, from that it looks like a little bit of pace.
A lot of pace,
and with Josh Kelly, ball over the top in behind, he can probably threaten there. And the boy's got a first touch on him. He can bring that ball down, play a ball across, play out the left, and he's really excited me so far. And if there is a day to get a first goal or a hat trick, today's the day.
So he's not scored yet, and you're now going to hat trick.
Yeah,
But you're right.
That's when he gets through, you know.
But you're right, Joe. There are some games that can really, you know. I listened to a Stephen Gregory interview that was on one of the podcasts, and it was interesting. He was saying that this was a game that made a player. You know, Toby Ajala, hardly played for Wimbledon, yet is remembered for a fixture.
Yep.
So sometimes it's just games. You go out and express yourself.
It's interesting as well, John Joe O'Toole starting today, because he's got so much experience. Like, he's not going to get overwhelmed by this kind of occasion, and maybe, you know, regardless of if we changed our back three, maybe JJ's just picked him just because of his wealth of experience.
The good thing is having Lee Brown and John Joe O'Toole, that is plenty of and do you know what, it's not like non-league football experience, it's football league experience, playoffs. It's like that is what we need, I think, in that, alongside Kofi Barmer, who is a fantastic player but will be looking to learn the game. He's only young, and I think for everything, like you mentioned, that experience is going to not only sort of coach the players around them, but also sort of maybe bit of game management, which I think we've struggled with as of late.
Yeah, and I think when you've got a game like this, I think set plays will be very important for us.
Yep.
Because like I say, you won't have the ball much.
And he's a big fella, isn't he?
Yeah, so I'm just thinking, you're not going to have the ball too much. You're going to have to play without it. You have to play on, not we want to do that, but we're probably going to have to play on the break at home, a counter-attack. But having the extra height, and of course we've got a long throw, even though sometimes I feel like we've relied on it a bit too much.
Yeah, I think we should mix it up a little bit more.
But
It is
what I'm saying, with
everyone,
O'Toole in it, you've got a player
Yeah.
that can be effective in both areas.
And also James Ball off the bench can also win a header. So, and Hope Hell. So we've got options late on, obviously.
Ryan Curtis as well is
Yeah.
a good option.
And John Kimani Gordon as well. Players that can come on and really change the game. And I think that's something, like we've said this probably every show. You can go back and get a clipping of us saying it, but it's so nice to see options on the bench.
Yeah.
Players to come on and really show sort of a bit of fight in the last half an hour. We're not relying on, whilst they're talented, our youth players to come in and sort of step up to the occasion, which I think today will be a tough one because it's going to be a very, very loud ground. But
Do Just going to say just very quickly, we've got iFollow, so don't forget, because it's not a 3 o'clock kickoff, it is available on iFollow. £10 English or whatever it converts to in your currency around the world. We should do that.
I think it was €9.44.
We should do that. We should see what the
weekend.
most random currency is where you've got to buy $1 million just to, and we should do that. We're going to get the currency transfer. We'll do it for Tuesdays. We've got a Tuesday feature, don't we? Get. Oh,
that sounds like your homework for tomorrow.
Look at that. That was seamless, wasn't it? Grimsby to come here in.
Absolutely.
And not to look too far ahead, but I was really surprised where Grimsby are on the league.
It's only 4 days away.
And bearing in mind in the podcast at the beginning of the season, I said I thought they'd have a good season. Never listened to me.
I was
But
surprised.
I do think that.
I was going to say, the biggest surprise by Grimsby is they spent $4 million on wages, allegedly. If you're looking at the accounts.
Accounts all coming out. And
I think we're one of the only clubs, I think so it's like 4 teams, we are in the top 4 for profits.
So if you're bored on Monday, have a look at the finances that are being released.
Maguire's the person.
Right. Let's have a bit of a prediction. I think this is always the nasty bit, but 3-0 Wimbledon. Alex Bass clean sheet, as always.
Hey, look, Hart versus your head in this game.
Yeah.
You know, they're a very good footballing team, done very well in the January window. I think it's going to be a very tough game today, but the atmosphere, the way it will be toxic today. It'll be, you know, if we can go in and say this is our home ground, I'm going to go for a 2-1 win. There is no foundation in that at all, but that's where your heart.
There's hope.
That's where your heart is
hope,
going.
and that's all you need.
Yeah.
I think Star Wars reference then, but I chose against it.
Don't ask for your goal scores.
Obviously, we're not on a good run of form at the moment, but I think this fixture might actually be the fixture we need. So, you know, Jason, you alluded to, we got 2 home fixtures back to back. You know, if we can pick up 4 points from these 2, I think that would be a good return. You know, from next 2 home games, and that, you know, there's extra emphasis on today's game because of who it is.
And just give some context. We need 1 more point to match our points total for the whole of last season. So.
And we're safe then.
Yeah, but if you think about, so yes, we are going through a bad patch at the moment, but if we can get, if we can just beat last week, so that's an interesting thing. But I don't know. I think you're right. This is a cup game.
Yeah.
Realistically, league form should go out the window.
This is a league game, Stu. This is a league 2.
It does feel like. I don't want to say it feels like a 6-pointer, but it feels like a 4-pointer today, doesn't it?
The 6-pointer. I love the 6-pointer. I love the 6-pointer thing, but it's very true, especially this time of season, like Jason was saying earlier.
And also on top of that, we do need to start picking up points if we are to push back into the playoffs. So I think it will draw today, and if we can follow up and choose over a win, I think a 1 will draw today. It's not negative.
It's outrageous wins.
It's a tough game today.
Yeah. I think if you, like I say, we know what the fixture means to all the fans and what it means to us. But if you look at the football side of it, I think they've got the most points since
Mike Williamson's came in. They've got the most points in the league.
So it's always a nice fact. However, we used to go through where if a team hadn't won for a while, we'd give them wins.
Yeah,
maybe this is going to be the reverse.
Nick used to say that. The law of averages say you're going to win a game. Hey, look, let's hope so. But let's go. I'm looking forward to it.
It's going to be a very, very loud stadium. Hopefully, I mean, we're indoors, so we don't know yet, but hopefully the weather's calmed down.
Outside.
Yeah, hopefully the weather's calmed down because it was pretty miserable on the way in. Hopefully, not pathetic fallacy. Throwing back to my English for today's fixture. We'll be here after the full time whistle. Hopefully, enjoy our spirits. However, we will see you then.